Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gordon Maston, and welcome to this week's edition of my NXT review. Um, for October the 21st, 2015, and this week on NXT, we learned that next week, mm, that's great. We learned that next week Tyler Breeze is gonna die. All right, guys, let's get this started. Okay, I should never do that again, but hey, I do things all the time that I should never probably do again. But we're not gonna get there. What we're gonna get to is this week's episode of NXT. Um, so let me just start out by saying I wanted to make an announcement before I do this. Um, Before I jump into Asuka versus Billie Kay, which by the way, she fucking needs me, bro. Um, uh, Next week, the day that WWE 2K16 is released, I will be doing. Well, I don't know if I'll be streaming it all day, but I will be doing a bunch of stuff. I will be making a My Career. I will be making a whole bunch of shit. Now, I want a couple of things from you guys in the comments. This regards universe mode. Would you like me guys to run universe mode as one individual and run that way, and give one individual a push, or build one individual's story for a year for them to get to the championship, or do it some other unique way, or use, or, get community creations and use a woman and like maybe make a women's promotion or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do, I'll do that for universe mode. If I get no feedback, then I'm doing what I want to do, and that leads me to my career. Give me feedback if I should be myself. I mean, if I should make something myself and organically get it over, or be lazy about it and pick a random indie guy who hasn't made it to WWE yet. And even though he's a random indie guy who hasn't made it to WWE yet, once again being lazy here, if I'm gonna do that, he's gonna be having his indie name, not anything based off of the name picking that WWE does. I just don't want to pick something for Adam Cole, like say a, I don't know, say, I don't know, Mark, not Mark, Coland Adams or something. I don't know. That just sounds completely stupid. I mean, I can't think of a name at this moment, but whatever you guys want me to do. That's for my career and 2K Showcase. I know you guys probably want to see it, but to be completely honest with you, I'm all like a fan of I'm a fan of like all the moments that Stone Cold had. But this is probably gonna give me some uncharted territory. I'll probably just make a separate video about this because I don't want to get like a bunch of dislikes. No, trust me when I say I do like Stone Cold. I do enjoy Stone Cold. 2K Showcase. Okay, we gotta talk. NXT this week. We start off with Asuka versus Billie Kay, and if I didn't already make this clear enough by the start of this video, she fucking needs me, bro. Give Billie Kay's number. Hey, baby, how you doing? No, but what we're gonna do here is we're gonna talk about this match, and I have a little. I get like it sounds like it. I'd have to go back and listen. But I know Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, I know they're both Australian. I know that they both have incredibly long, amazing legs. Legs! Um, and I found it weird, though. One said they have legs for days tonight, and one said they have the longest legs in NXT. I'm going to leave that one alone right now, because we'd be talking about some other things for the longest time. Uh, Billie Kay, I find it weird that her and Peyton Royce, like I said before, I'd have to go back and listen, but I find it weird how they have the same theme song. Like, I understand that they teamed up. I don't know if they're gonna be like a pairing for good, but if not, we gotta communicate something here. Like communication, like in a tiny sense, not anything major at all, not anything like. I got problems with this. Like, if I have the one minor problem I have is they share the same theme music, and I don't know if they're gonna be a duo or not, but. Technically, if you want to think about it, Asuka is the beloved babyface. Billie Kay played the heel tonight. Peyton Royce played the face when she faced Alexa Bliss later in the night, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Point being, they share the same music, and it doesn't go off well. I mean, like I remember the one week they tagged against Emma and Dana. Obviously, they're the faces in that situation, but they just can't do the whole same music thing. But other than that, Billie Kay did get a great amount of offense into this. Not great. Let me dim that word down a bit. She did get a good amount of offense in here, so she didn't look like she was just totally like fucking jobbing Asuka, but it wasn't like a bona fide type squash match. But then once after she started getting things in, Asuka like had a counter to everything she did. Her German suplex. It looked like Billie Kay wanted to sell that a little better, but she just like I don't know why. Not even why. I don't know what happened that she couldn't. Well, she tried to flop over and land on her stomach, but she just bounced off of her like shoulders and neck. Like not in a bad way, just like she wanted to do more for Asuka. She really wanted to sell that more for Asuka, but in that instance she just couldn't. I don't know if there was miscommunication or whatever, but it just yeah. Asuka does go on to throw in the jumping armbar. By the way, shouts out to Trevor Lee once again, jumping and body slamming, power slamming. Jesus Christ, we have all these jumping variations of moves nowadays. One of these, we already get jumping around. We're just gonna, the jumping moves are gonna just kill somebody one day. I don't literally mean that. I just mean like, oh my God, kayfabe, they're so dead. That move just, you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. But Asuka does go on to win with the Asuka lock, which is a crossface chicken wing. Crossface chicken wing. And she deemed that the Asuka lock. So she went on to beat Billie Kay with that, and that was practically that. Okay. My thoughts on this entirely is just I'm in such a rush. I'm just like really in such a rush to have Peyton Royce and Billie Kay get pushed because they're so good. I mean, even YouTubing them will indicate that to you. Back in Shimmer, they were like, I'm not gonna say the best, but like they were just absolutely amazing. Billie Kay as Jessie McKay being a heel. Casey Cassidy as Peyton Royce was an awesome face. I mean, they're both sexy as hell. They're both like really attractive. They're both great in the ring, and I'm pretty sure they can both work a character. I mean, if they didn't have personality and they didn't have that larger-than-life personality, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be signed to contracts. I mean, it's evidently clear about that. But, dude, it just I understand NXT is a timely process, and you gotta pay your dues, brother. But when they get pushed, bro, let me say this now. The NXT Women's Division has what it needs in its powerhouse being Nia Jax now. They have their feared striking technician. I wouldn't. I don't want to call her the female Kyle O'Reilly. That's what it kind of seems like. No, but I see. It's weird. Striking technicians. I don't know. Never mind. It's. I'm not gonna say it's too hard to call, but it's a very picky process in a sense. But they have everything they need, and then once they add those two, and then they get their gimmicks under like just Emma, sadly Dana. Sadly, Eva, Nia Jax, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, but Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Asuka, Bayley, Emma, and Nia Jax. are going to be a huge part of this division. I don't want to just add all those two Sadleys in there and just oh, and not to even mention Alexa Bliss, people, Alexa Bliss and Carmella. This women's division has a very promising upside. And I'll never say promising upside like they've never done anything. Obviously, if you watched NXT the last couple of years, you understand that this division is leaps and bounds taking over the world. But, you know, I think I've spent enough time on the women at this moment because I have another women's segment to talk about later, but I do have another match to talk about next. Let me see if I'm... You know, I might as well just cover this now because I don't really remember when it came. But we got a Tyler Breeze promo backstage where he basically, like, just to sum it up, he tells Samoa Joe... I don't even remember what he told him. It was just him talking into the camera on his phone and the selfie stick and all that. And I guess he basically told Joe, you're not going to, like, oh, yeah, this is what he said. He's like, he basically told, he's like, Joe, he's like, if I'm not going to be, like, the basic, like, to sum it up, he's basically like, Joe, if I'm not going to be number one contender, you're not going to be number one contender. So he basically, Joe, you threw me out, fuck you. That's basically, to sum it up in a short sentence there, that's how Breeze thought about it. I wanted to be number one contender. No, you're not going to be number one. Fuck you, you're going out too then. Okay, so up next here, we got Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus the Mechanics. Now, when Enzo and Cass made their entrance, I want to go back to a line that Corey Graves said, what he said Enzo looks like, because I was at a hockey game tonight, and early when NXT aired, my friend comes and messages me that Graves said this exactly. I did hear it, but I didn't want to screw it up because I actually did have what he said. So... Okay. Enzo looks like a cat that fell out of a bathtub. If you see Enzo's hair, he basically says that's what a cat looks like after falling in the bathtub. Like Corey Graves, when he does not like you, he will make it the best thing ever. Told Byron him being on were the best couple weeks of his life while he was on assignment. I agree, but yeah, I disagree because you need Saxton there to make fun of. It's fun when you make fun of Brennan, but Saxton's just that guy who can just sell it to you like I have no life. I'm the guy who's sitting here watching wrestling because nothing in life ever worked out for me. That may sound so cruel, but yet it's just so true for him. I mean, everyone bullies him around now. Everyone talks shit about him, even on the main roster. But we're not here about talk about Byron Saxton. We're here to talk about the Mechanics. Now, I'm gonna say it now. These guys don't like wildly impress me. Like what they remind me of is like these guys remind. Okay, so if I'm really gonna say like who I honestly think get these guys. I'm not gonna say like a push, but like got them their spot like where they are in the tag division now in NXT would be William Regal because they remind me if I can really name a tag team out of my day that I've seen that worked like this. Does anyone remember William Regal and Dave Taylor from like 2007 when it was the era of London and Kendrick when that amazing, beautiful tag team division was happening in SmackDown? And see, like back then, even when that happened, like on Raw, you had the Hardys who were tag champs for a short time. But London and Kendrick's year reign, like I don't even hate to say this because this is when SmackDown was good, so it actually deserves this moment here. SmackDown's tag division was far above and beyond Raw's. All I can really remember from Raw's tag division in that time was Lance Kidd and Trevor Murdoch and the Hardys. Oh yeah, Rated RKO was a thing too, but like they didn't need their main event guys to jump in, their top guys to jump in and win the tag titles, because I think who was a tag champ with Ric Flair? I think it was Jim Duggan and Ric Flair that were tag champs at the time. Oh God. So enough remembering that. Or as Lana would say, Jim Dugan, but I digress. So we move on here, and we get Enzo and Cass versus basically what I figure is like Regal and Taylor. Like you look at those guys, they're like, wow, what they do really doesn't impress me. Yeah, it may not impress you, but their storytelling and psychology is on point because they're working a body part and making you sell it and making what they do look so much better and making the other guy look better for, his selling. I don't know if I nailed that correctly entirely, but close enough. So this match, basically, they work Enzo Amore's knee. Like that's most of the match. They work Enzo Amore's knee. They're gritty. They're punching him in the face. They're making sure they keep him away from Cass. And basically, for the most part, they do. Cass does get into a little here and there. Like when Enzo was like locked in this little knee bar they had him in, I guess I could call it. They ran in and Cass ran in, stomped on. I think Dash Wilder had it in. Scratching my beard. What the semblance of what I have. Stopped Dash Wilder from attacking Enzo. Well, not attacking, but keeping the submission on Enzo, and then that's where everything ensued. Where it may have been broken up, but it gives Enzo the time to get the 1, 2, 3. This way, Enzo and Cass win. They continue to look strong, and they don't lose to the Mechanics, who are uprising. But this does just show, even with the Mechanics losing, they were well protected with Enzo having to get that last-ditch effort, small package to get the win. But after that, they go on to desolate Enzo Amore and his knee even more. And Big Cass tries to fight and help Enzo. It just doesn't happen. And the NXT crowd, like, there was some stuff I couldn't understand what they were saying tonight, but they did go out, they were saying, save. No, I'm sorry. Save Amore. Save Amore. Save. Like, anything goes with. I'm not even going to try and do it. Oh, yeah. Pay 10 Royce. Pay 10. That was another thing. I did tonight, but that's not going to go there until we get there. But they basically destroyed those two. And next, we got two in-depth looks at two guys that are going to be in our main event tonight, which are Baron Corbin and Rhino. They basically show us two video packages. Nothing really special here. It's literally stuff we've seen before. The one Rhino video package they've been showing every time they want to highlight Rhino. What did we... Oh, yes. We get Danny Burch versus... who did Danny Burch face? I'm really struggling to get a hold on who Danny Burch faced here tonight. You know what? We're just gonna move past that. We get a Nia Jax vignette. That was basically the same thing she's been doing for the past couple weeks. And actually, this up next that I can say until I find that is actually, okay, so this is perfect. Like, NXT connects with their crowd, and they 100% get it. Like, they understand that it's, because of what they've been doing with Apollo Crews, and I just think they want to fast track the guy, and I have no problem with that, but like, you gotta slow it down a bit. Oh, Gordon, wake up, bro. That's what he faced. But okay, I'll just get to this now, and then get to the next thing. But Apollo Crews, they basically, it's like, okay, if you guys remember the Who is Finn Balor thing they did months and months ago before Finn won the NXT Championship, this is Who is Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews goes on to tell us, like, he was moving all over. He was practically a witness protection kid. No, in all seriousness, Apollo Crews just, he told us about how he moved with his mother and father for all these years, and then they couldn't get along. He ended up having to move with his mother, and he ended up staying with his mother, and she struggled to, do all these things, and like, even getting food, and then there was, like, I guess it was like a Walmart or Kmart type thing, because Walmart's, Kmart's, and Targets. I mean, but that's not important to this point. I'm gonna say here, This is where Apollo connected with me. Because, like, it may have been his mother, but this is an instance. I had the same situation where I was with my grandpa when I was 5 years old. Apollo Crews mentioned how he asked his mother to buy him the title. She told him no. He went and threw a parking lot. He can't throw a park. I know he's strong, but no. He went and threw a tantrum in a parking lot, and she comes back out, and there's the title. And it reminds me of a situation I had with my grandfather, who passed away many years ago, and so did my grandmother too. But it still rings a similar to the situation. Like, we all know those, toy championship belts that you buy in the places I just basically named. I was at a Kmart one day with my grandfather, and he, we were just going through that. I forgot what we were getting, but for the first time ever, I see one of these things. And, I was like maybe like 5 or 6, and I see it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a real thing that they carry on TV. Obviously, it wasn't. I know that. I've learned that. I understand that now. But I'm like, Grandpa, can I please get it? He's like, no. He's like, we're not doing this. I'm like, please, can I get it, please, please? I'm sitting there singing. Let me explain it to you. I'm sitting there singing "Please" and Jingle Bells. Please, 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 please. Like it's come to that point where I was that desperate, and then he just kept telling me no, and I just feel like, even looking back, like I feel like a dickhead. I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. He gave me everything I wanted. He tried to do anything he could for me. He spoiled me as best he could, and I threw a little fit in Kmart, cried, sat down, protested over a World's Heavyweight Championship. Like, looking back, I still feel horrible. I still feel like a spoiled, horrible brat for that, and that's where Apollo connected with me. It's not even like the fact of the story. It's just like, you have family who's struggling. Like, my grandfather was retired. He wasn't like a huge fan of like spending a bunch of money, because he always felt like he didn't have enough. Like, he felt if he wasn't working, he never had enough money, and I really I made him do that, even though he didn't pay the entire thing. Some lady came by, realized what I was doing, and said, "Look, I'll pay $8, and would you be willing to pay there too?" He was like, "Yeah." And then I just, like, looking back, I understand where you're coming from, Apollo. Like, but you understand your family supported you and all that. Like, he basically goes on to say he eventually ended up going with his father, who he stayed there with, and then he eventually came back and went to school. It was like him and 5 other brothers and sisters of his. I can't remember what siblings they really were, but it was somewhere around that. And from there, we move on to what do you call it? Yes, that's what I was saying before. Danny Burch versus Apollo Crews, not versus Apollo Crews, versus James Storm. And by the way, on this Apollo Crews thing, there will be a part 2 and a part 3. I don't know if there'll be a part 3, but there'll be a part 2 next week. They did show his indie background. They did talk about his indie background. He talked about it as well. He said he didn't know anything more than he didn't know more than WWE. When he went to the indies, all he ever thought about was WWE, but then he didn't realize how much time and effort it took to get there, and I was practically that. So I covered what I need to cover out of that, and I guess yeah, up next is James Storm versus Danny Burch. Now, see, the only reason I really didn't remember this is because, like, the James Storm thing, see, here's the thing, it's big to me, but, like, at this point, like, I heard he's not even signed. Like, yes, I'm not gonna try and kill the buzz. Like, oh, he's not even signed. It doesn't matter. He's just making an appearance. Yeah, that may be true, but in a situation like this, guys like James Storm just come to NXT for one match and leave. I mean, like, the only person I can really remember who's done that is Brian Kendrick, but Storm seemed to be so over. Like, the beer money chants were there, everything, to the point where he just, you got to bring him back. You got to bring him back. He even did the sorry about your damn luck thing. He goes going to be Danny Burch with the 8-second ride. I really wanted the last call super kick, but 8-second ride, so it is what it is. Not really much for me to say about the whole James Storm thing. It's good to see him in NXT, not rotting in TNA. I just wish Bobby Roode would get out of TNA, because that's a guy who's been loyal to that company for so many years, and they've bent him over a barrel and just told him take it at this point. Just, he stayed there. Like, if you want to look for a loyal man, like this is like to your company, to your industry, to your business, Bobby frickin' Roode, people. That is a man. That is the man. That is the man you want representing your company because he will represent you whether you're good, through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And for the last 3 or 4, not even 3 or 4, for the last 4 or 5 so years with TNA, it's just been the ugly. So, James Storm, more power to you. You know where good wrestling lies these days. Okay. Let me think for a second. Let me think. Okay. Alexa Bliss versus Peyton Royce. They both need me. You don't Alexa Peyton. I live a strugglesome life. All these women, they look great and they can fight too. Just the man's ultimate pleasure. Let's crack a cold iced tea and call it. All right. Now, this is something where Alexa Bliss, you know, they're pushing her to fight Bayley. Not pushing her, but they're building her to fight Bayley. They're building her up, and Peyton Royce at this point was fodder for, you know, the point where she eventually faces Alexa Bliss. So Alexa, what do you call it? Yeah, Alexa does win this match with the Sparkle Splash. Other than that, like I'm just gonna go from Peyton Royce. Like I love Alexa Bliss to death. I think I've emphasized that enough to all of you. Alexa Bliss is one of my favorites on NXT. She's just not the favorite when it comes to the women. Overall, I'm not even gonna segregate the women from this. She's not even my number one favorite overall. Overall, my number one favorite. You know, I'm not even gonna go there because I'd have to think about that for a second. Maybe Oscar. No, see, but Peyton Royce because she deserves the spotlight. This is another thing where I don't know. This is probably just me picking out of what commentary says, but this is where I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but at some point they have to be building up to a Billie Kay Peyton Royce feud because Billie Kay comes out and says she has the longest legs in NXT, and this just sounds so stupid, but yet you can't just come out and say this about both of them. Maybe I'm reaching at maybe I'm just reaching at this point, but and then you got Peyton Royce saying she's got the longest legs at NXT, and she's got legs for days, and she's willing to use those legs to her advantage in her match. And may I just say, the way she gets in the ring, we've seen Melina do the split. Like, and I'm like, ow, I hit my hand, that hurt like hell. We've seen Melina do the split. We've seen Alexa slide through the ropes the way she does. We've seen it all. But never, and if I ever try and do it, I'll probably strain something somewhere between my neck region and my calf. I'll turn to Kevin Nash and tear a quad. But Peyton Royce lays on the apron, stretches her leg across her head. Like, I don't know, she put it to the side of her head, like over her shoulder. Like, she didn't bend it anyway. She just throws it over and then rolls in the ring. What the stretch-tastic fuck? Okay, I just had a spot like that, but other than this, in the match, her kicks, dude, like, holy shit. Like, the kicks she just throws, like, at some point in her time, she had to be a cheerleader somewhere, because, like, her kicks alone were amazing. Like, it's just, like she just seems so likable. Like, I go back to Evie last week when she faced Nia Jax. They just, like, you just look at her face, you just instantly want to like her. Like, you look at her like, this girl can do no wrong. She's just here to have fun, and she's happy to be here. But holy shit, she can go at the same time. It's just like I really can't wait to see what happens with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay as well. But Alexa does go on to win this match with the Sparkle Splash after Peyton Royce did have run the ropes for not a good portion of this match, but a second in this match. And I like the way NXT does that. Like, when they do what you would call enhancement matches, I'm not going to say jobber, but enhancement matches. I'm not going to say jobber unless Mojo Rawley's involved, but enhancement matches, what was I going to say? Yeah, they always make sure the person losing will look good. Now, like, you can say, well, they do that in the main roster, but, like, in NXT, these are people who they're bringing in who they're trying to establish, not just guys that they brought in who deserve something and won't get it and then just get jobbed the fuck out. Like Tyson Kidd for years upon years. But that's basically all I have to say about that. Oh yeah, Eva is sending us a message. Fempelli. Eva is sending us a message from Perry. I don't give a fuck. Give me one reason. Like, I'm gonna take a second here. Give me a reason why I need to. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not. She's saying she's hoping she's missed. Eva, you're not missed. Take the rest of the year off if you need to. Go work with Brian Kendrick. Make him. And as I say this, I actually forgot to mention, for none of you guys who know this, I might as well bring it up because it'd be unfair and it'd be like really like dickheadish of me not to do it. But apparently at an NXT house show not a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't even a couple weeks ago, it was literally at this point almost a week ago, Eva Marie had a match with Bayley, and apparently it was really good. I'm not fucking kidding you. I just said the words, please don't unsubscribe, please don't flag my video, please, like, none of that. Please, I'm begging of you, understand me when I say this. This is what I read. Let me get the quotes. I want to find the quote because it was amazing when I read this too. It was like legit. I nearly shit myself. Like, I'm like, holy crap, that just happened. Like, Eva Marie just did that. Like, whoever thought the words Eva Marie and good could be used in the same sentence without she's good at being a failure. Okay, I think this was it. Okay, if this would load, because I'm just at the black screen of death here. Yeah, this was it. Okay, let me... And it won't load. I don't get it. Okay. Either way, it said Eva Marie had a great match with Bayley, and so much so to the point where the fans were even chanting at her, Eva's learning, clap, 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 Eva's learning. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, I read that, and I'm like, no, someone's just making something up. Like, and I found this multiple different sources, and it's just like, wow, maybe she does deserve a chance, and I would like to see her do this. I don't know where it's gonna matter, where, I would like to see her do this on TV, and if she does this on TV, I would literally bow to Eva Marie. No, not even bow to Eva Marie. She doesn't deserve it because she's still, at the end of the day, it's just using WWE for a platform to get somewhere. I will bow to Sarah Del Rey because she deserves it. That must be one patient, terrible woman to deal with Eva Marie and Dana Brooke. And even at one point, so before she became a household name, Charlotte. And I'm not even saying her household name, like Charlotte herself, not living off her dad's name. Charlotte herself became a household name. It's like, oh my God, she can go. Like, Charlotte, dude. Like, she was trash when she first walked in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That I have to say about this. So if we're gonna use that, I'm not even gonna talk about the promo that Eva cut. I'm just gonna say, actually, because it was kind of worth it. Eva said, you know what, you guys know how it is to take vacation when it's well deserved, and she's like, maybe you don't. So she's taking these subtle little jabs at the crowd and at the fans. So she's actually showing us, and this goes back to the whole Eva's learning thing, that she's trying to be a heel. You have established yourself as something. Well, you're trying to establish yourself as something. Do it. Don't just subtly. Maybe you don't. shit on the crowd. Like, oh, you losers wouldn't know. Like, you look great. Your body's amazing. Be second California heel who everyone hates. Like, oh, I basically got to train with my own trainer. I don't need the performance center because I'm too good for it. Like, if she uses all of that, this entitled spoiled girl gimmick, she can really. I mean, like, they wanted to make a gimmick out, not a gimmick. They wanted to make a story out of her kicking out and saying that the refs were on her side and the company's behind her. They wanted to use that. They can use the spoiled entitled little girl thing. Like, that would be great for Eva. And, like, look at me sitting here thinking of things for Eva Marie to do if she can just become competent in the ring. And hopefully, like, Bayley just didn't carry the entire way, even though that's probably the general thought. But, dude, please, Eva, please. If you're going to be here and you're going to be sitting here in NXT and you're going to be sitting here on television every single week or every other week, give us a reason. Please, just give us a reason. Like, Eva, give us a reason to not sit here and boo the hell out of you or make us want to skip your match every time we watch the show. Like, please, dude. But, you know, I've sat here and done enough begging, groaning, and moaning about Eva Marie because it's not even worth it anymore, man. It's just, it's preaching to the choir at this point. But, moving forward, Eva Marie... This is something we're not going to talk about right now. We're going to leave that and save that. By the way, she is in WWE 2K16, the video game, for those of you who didn't know, but the Four Horsewomen aren't, just to see how to put that out there too. Anyways, next, we get Baron Corbin versus Rhino in our main event of the evening. And just so you know, this is the second time in 3 weeks I've said this. I'm not gonna, like, if I have to put this on any level, I'll put this on the level of his match with Samoa Joe. Baron Corbin had another good match. Like, I'd say about 3. I don't rate things at all. I don't. So if, like, this is a rare occasion that I'll ever do this. Like, I don't, because, like, I don't know, like, how you rate things. Like, oh, that move deserved 3 stars. That move deserved, like, I say Corbin and Rhino was a solid 3-star, 3.5 star match. This is, like, I just thought, oh my god, the worst of this. But, like, this was actually entertaining. I did enjoy this. If I had any critiques of the match myself, like, personally, I would have made it a little more physical. I would have made this match a little more stiff, because you got big guys like this. I mean, they're obviously not going to do, like, anything, like, huge to impress you. So just make them beat the fuck out of each other. Like, just strong style the shit out of it. Like, that way people are engaged. Like, holy shit, how the fuck are you eating this and still walking right now? Like, just like that kind of thing. Just like, you know, PWG type, Thatcher type hero action, like that, stuff like that. But, you know, they're not going to go balls to the walls like that. Even if they do want to get Baron Corbin over, and that would be a good way to do it. You know, I'm going to say that. You know, I'm like, I would love to see a Biff Busick versus Baron Corbin type match. But, you know, we'll save that. Okay. But yeah, this was pretty good. It ended up coming down to the end where Rhino goes for the belly to back suplex, and this is where communication comes in once again. Can we communicate here upon, like, backstage? Like, Bayley's like, Rhino's, like, I don't really want to complain here, but, you know, Rhino's using my finisher, and it's not even, like, if a man who's supposed to be way bigger than me and way stronger than me can't keep another man down while using that, or neutralize him while using that, then what does it make? How does it make me look? And also establish the fact that Rhino, not Rhino, I think that was probably it. Oh yeah, just establish that. That just annoys me. Like, I'm like, Rhino, tonight he used up the, actually, he just reversed Corbin when he tried to go for a clothesline to set up the gore, but Rhino, goes on to hit the mesh. He goes on to hit the gore on Corbin. 1, 2, nope. Kick out. And then he goes for it again, and the crowd starts vaguely, like, you can slightly hear one more gore, and it was one more time, but they just didn't cash in on it. One more time, like, one more gore would have been so much better. Like, one more time. It's, like, at this point, like, for you, Full Sail, it's generic. One more gore got overdone by the rest of the guys who were chanting one more time. And Baron Corbin catches Rhino in that second gore and smashes him with the end of days, and that's basically it. And then that's where we get the second part of the show, where anybody who's a Tyler Breeze fan is, well, yeah, anybody who's a Tyler Breeze fan is sitting there just thinking, I don't want him to die. Because Joe cut a promo after this and said he wants Tyler Breeze to, he's like, how dare you even challenge me? He's like, he wants Tyler Breeze to get his phone out, shave, put his highlights in, and basically told him, I want you to look real pretty next week for when he basically told him I want you to look real pretty for when I murder you next week. Tyler, you're in some shit, bro. I mean, holy crap. Samoa Joe's basically like, you never want to do anything wrong. You always want to stay on his good side. I could just imagine. Like, from when I was back in school those days, like, when you get your parent called. Like, can you just imagine being in school, get your parent called to your parent is Samoa Joe, like, put him on the phone. This is for you. Put him on the phone. I'm just going to walk at the office. No, the phone's for you. Hello? Boy, when you get home, we're going to have a serious talk about this. I'm just sitting here. I just shit myself. I'm like, here you go. Just pass it along and just cry. And go find somewhere to crawl and just cry. Joe is... I've always loved the intensity that he brings to his promos. And it's just like that. Like, oh my God. You really believe that he's going to murder Tyler Breeze next week? But you know what? That was literally the end of NXT. Just Samoa Joe practically making a death threat to Tyler Breeze. But you know what? I do want to thank you guys for watching this week's edition of my NXT review. Oh, so much. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed for more WWE goodness on my channel. Like, comment, follow me on Twitter at FightMastinFight. I have meant to do that for months now, and I finally did it. I don't care if Kevin Owens isn't as over as he used to be. He's still the champ, damn it. That's why he's the champ, damn it. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, like this video. Like this video if you already haven't liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for more of that WWE goodness on my channel. Next week I plan, and this is the plan, for the channel really pop and explode. I'm gonna pop out a bunch of WWE content next week. Have people subscribe to me. Make it clear and evident that I am going to be doing this full time now. But I'm still gonna be playing all the other games that I do play. The hockey, the Madden Weekly, I plan to pop in some Batman here at some point. I can't do Dragon Ball Z for some stupid, strange reason. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Once again, what can you do about it? But yeah, this is basically it. I would love to thank you guys for joining me. Like I said before, thank you so much. So, like I said, thank you so much for joining me. And all I really have left to say here is, see ya.